Hi, my name is Gabrielle Gross, and today I'll be sharing my two infographics based on my technical instructions assignment. The two sub-audiences I chose in relation to the assignment include book lovers with a technical background and Python experience, and Barnes& Noble's press marketing team. In terms of values, book lovers in tech value finding popular books and their preferred genre. As an avid reader, I understand how tedious it can be to sift through millions of general book recommendations to find one that suits my taste. Thankfully, it is ingrained in all those with a technical background to find the optimal solution to a problem. And what is more optimal than automating the extraction of book data to find new content to read? On the flip side, Barnes& Noble's marketing team values data and strategies that benefit the overall business. They prioritize methods that set Barnes& Noble's one step ahead of the competition. By knowing what genres and authors are selling or how the competition is marketing their books, Barnes& Noble's marketing team can make a more informed decision about how to advertise their own book stock. Both audiences have their uses for automated book data that will simplify some aspects of their lives. The only difference is that book lovers would use that data for a more personal leisure standpoint, while Barnes& Noble's press will use it to fit their business initiatives. On the topic of the infographic design, for the infographic tailored for Barnes& Noble's press, as seen here on the right, I kept the design more minimalistic and clean, using Barnes& Noble's brand colors as the color scheme. Since the infograph serves more as a business proposal, getting the main arguments for each section was more important than fun graphics and busy colors. This style is best suited for a marketing team that prioritizes market expansion and business value. On the other hand, while reviewing the infographic tailored to book lovers in tech, the design is more fun and engaging. Cute pastel colored graphics are included to help with clarity and readability, helping to draw the reader's attention to each section. The infograph was also advertised more as a guide for a fun side project, hence the light and engaging tone, colors, and graphics. Moreover, the content is formatted in such a way that it highlights the personal benefits of this project, fitting the values of book lovers in tech. Moving on to the content of the infographics, we can see that for the Barnes& Noble's press infographic, I included information about how web scraping could benefit the marketing and sales of Barnes& Noble's. The data was from a more logistical business perspective. As you can see, the main topic points are readers' insights, market expansion, trend spotting, business value, and overall benefits. I made sure to omit all technical terms involved in the process. And as you can see, unlike the infographic for book lovers in tech, where the technical process is descriptively outlined, this is not included in the Barnes& Noble's press infographic. Instead, each category outlines a business advantage that web scraping could provide, drawing in the marketing team with the usefulness of the practice. Looking over to the right at the infographic tailored to book lovers with a technical background, the content falls more on the technical side of the topic. The main purpose of the infograph is to outline basic implementation steps needed to scrape a website. While no code or pseudocode is provided, one must have a general understanding of what a script is or how to write a Python script to complete this project. Moving on to the actual content of the book lovers infographic, I started off with a short paragraph at the top outlining how data extraction could be beneficial to book lovers in tech, really emphasizing how it could help with finding popular book trends, which is one of the values I identified earlier. And for the first step, I also suggested that the reader find a bookstore of their choice. This is what they're going to need in order to scrape the data that they want. And if it's of their choice, they might be more familiar with the site, which helps with the web scraping process. The next step is the Selenium driver. While it doesn't include any pseudocode or code, the explanation about Selenium assumes that the reader is capable of doing the research either to find how to set up a Selenium driver or has prior knowledge of setting up a Selenium driver. Step 3 is extracting the data gathered from step 1 and 2 into their script. This will be using XPath, and this section does include a little bit more technical jargon, such as XPath and CSS selectors, but it also has a general assumption that the user can either research how to do this step or has some prior knowledge on gathering the data from the bookstore website that they chose in step 1. Step 4, it requires the reader to format their data with pandas. This is for readability, and it explains what a pandas library is, but it also assumes that the reader can find the information on how to actually convert dictionary data or other types of Python data structures into tabular data using pandas. And then the last step is the saving the data into a CSV step. And this kind of concludes the step structure of the infograph. And at the end, I included a short bullet pointed list of quick tips that are relevant to the data extraction process. As you can see, this infograph serves as a good guide for book lovers looking to start such a project. And the book lovers in tech will find this helpful because it clearly outlines what steps they need to complete or what they need to research in order for this project to be successful. Thank you for listening.